Mm. Yeah. Mm. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, so this video is self-explanatory. It's gonna be what to expect for your 3 to 11 shift working as an LPN. This is going to be mostly PowerPoint form, and then it'll go into some clips towards the end, only because I did not want to record too much in my facility. I know that they have rules against that, and I'm not trying to get in trouble. But hopefully this will help, especially for the new nurses, because like myself, I wasn't even a CNA, so I had no clue as to how my shift was going to run and little tips and tricks to help it run smoother. So this hopefully will help you. Yeah, so let's get right into it. But I do suggest before you start your shift, pray, meditate, whatever you do to keep a peaceful mindset. Do that, because you never know what you'll walk into, but you always want to be prepared to make it, to shift the energy and make it more positive. All right, so this is your 3 to 11 shift working at a nursing home or a rehabilitation center. Okay, first thing you do, obviously clock in, get your money, make sure you clock in. All right, moving on, you're going to go to one of your supervisors or your charge nurse. Just figure out what assignment you have, like what unit you're assigned to. Some facilities you will be at the same unit all the time. Many other ones you're going to kind of float around. So just make sure you know where you're going. Next thing you want to do is change a shift report with the previous nurse. This is pretty self-explanatory. You're going in, you guys are changing the shift, and you're just going to make sure that you get all the information that she has to offer. Ask questions, figure out who are your finger sticks, figure out, any specific directions or instructions that you have for your wound treatments, because sometimes there's something that she may know that worked out for her that may help you. Also, figure out who are the ones that are high risk for falls, because you do want to keep an eye on them. Another thing is, if you have any observations that have been opened up from previous falls, you want to pay attention to those and ask them, okay, what number vital signs or neuro am I? So that's basically you just going in, putting your vitals from your shift for that person that fell earlier. All right, so just ask those questions so that you're covering your behind pretty much. Okay, so moving on, narc count. This is very important, but it's very easy. So you've probably seen it in clinicals. All you're doing is basically counting the narcs with the previous nurse. You want to pay attention though. I learned from one of the nurses that I work with, shout outs to her, turn the little cards over that the meds are in, turn it over and check the back to make sure it's not punctured or they're, torn a little bit. You just want to make sure that all the narcs that you have right now for your shift, everything is good. Everything is on point, because if not, then it's going to, come back on you. They're going to look at who was the last nurse that had all the narcs. So basically, do your narc count, double check, turn the cards over to check the back ends, and sign off. Once you have the keys, moving on to receiving the keys. Once you have the keys, everything is on you. You are now responsible for the narcs and all the residents. So you want to ask all of those questions. Make sure all the narcs are where they're supposed to be. Everything is signed. Everything is counting up. The numbers are the same, and you're good. So now moving on to delegating assignments for your aides. I don't normally do this because lately a lot of the seasoned nurses will do it, or I'm working with maybe 2 other seasoned nurses and they've already delegated the assignments for the entire units. But pretty much you will be splitting the assignments based off of how many residents you have and how they receive care, pretty much. Very easy, self-explanatory. Some of you that are aides, you guys already know the deal. And a lot of times I see aides pretty much splitting their shifts and splitting the assignments and figuring it out on their own. But anywho, moving on, make a quick round. Simply laying eyes on all of your residents. You want to do this before you sit your behind down and start clicking things off. Lay eyes on all of the residents. Make sure they are alive. Make sure no one's on the floor. Make sure no one has gotten hurt from the previous shift, not even your shift, from the shift beforehand. You want to cover your behind. So even if it takes a couple minutes just to run up, not run, but walk up and down the hallway, lay eyes on everyone, let them know you're the nurse for the evening, and then sit down. Just do that because it's going to cover you, it's going to protect you. All right, moving on to the next thing. Wipe your freaking cart down. Wipe it down, because you don't know how that last nurse was running things. And all right, let's just say she's not messy or dirty. You just don't know how busy and crazy her evening went to the point where she forgot to wipe the cart down. Even if she did wipe it down because you just, you want to work within your own mess, not someone else's. So wipe your cart down, clean it, stock it up. For the evening, most likely it's going to be a lot of the stool softeners. It's going to be a lot of the melatonins and stuff like that. So just make sure your bottles are full, everything is stocked, and you're ready for the night so that you're not interrupted. Especially if you're newer and you're slower on the med pass, you just want to make sure you have everything you need and you don't have to stop and run to the stock room or do whatever. So yeah, wipe your cart down, stock it up, prep yourself for the evening. And yeah, so moving on. Okay, so start clicking everything off. We use Matrix. A lot of other facilities use point click care. I'm familiar with both, more so with Matrix. But with Matrix, you have a lot of freaking clicking off. Clicking off meaning they just have a list of things. Oh, make sure the residents' legs are elevated. Make sure there's like little things that you already know and that you have to do, but you have to click it off. So get ahead of the game and click all of those things off beforehand so that you're not stuck at the end of your shift taking time clicking 1,000 things off that you already know. Cream on the behind or whatever. Just click that stuff off. All right, so also you want to take a mental note on how you can prioritize your med pass and your treatments. This is important because you want your night to go as smoothly as you can have it, because you just don't know what will pop up throughout the night. Sometimes it's those unexpected surprises that will throw us behind on our timing. So prioritize everything as best you can. If the meds are to be given for your 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. meds, and then you have your 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. meds. You can start an hour beforehand. Start early. Don't wait till 5 o'clock to start those meds. Start at 4. It will pop up on the screen. Start giving those meds out, doing your finger sticks, do everything you need to do. If you know that you have rooms 200 to 228, and most of your diabetics are closer to the 228, 227, 226, start on that end, so that you can get those finger pricks done take care of all your diabetics and move on down the list before they start giving out dinner. So think about little things like that will help your night go smoother and more efficiently. And I know this sounds stupid, but go use the restroom. After you have finished your 5 p.m., 6 p.m. meds, take a moment for yourself and go use the restroom. Drink some water, woosah, relax. Just try your best to stay calm and at peace, because sometimes that 5 to 6 med pass can be a little heavy, depending on what unit you're on, whether it's long-term, short-term. Doesn't matter. Just stay focused on yourself as a priority, if that makes sense. Of course, stay focused. Your residents are a priority, but if you pass out, who's going to take care of them? So go to the bathroom, take a moment, catch your breath, and drink some water. All right? All right. So at this point, you have completed your first med pass. You are doing amazing. So sit your behind down, because you already went to the bathroom and got a sip of water. Sit down, relax, take a deep breath, and now begin clicking off on whatever needs to be clicked. Meaning, a lot of the topics I mentioned earlier, click those things off. You can possibly write down your treatments instead of having to continue to go on Matrix or PCC and look it up. Just write it down on a piece of paper with the resident's name and the room number. and then begin to click that off. And yeah, so take a moment to kind of get organized for your second med pass. All right, so now look at the 24-hour sheet. See if there's anything that you need to evaluate. Is there someone that you need to kind of keep a closer eye on them? Is there some type of update that you need to put in there? Maybe you had to give someone a COVID test. Maybe you had to give them a TB test. Whatever you have to do, write that down and just let the next nurse know that it was done. Anything that's important. If you think about the 24-hour sheet, just think of anything that's important, anything that needs to be highlighted in a sense. After you have written down a very quick, straight to the point note on the actual 24-hour sheet, you will then take the names that are on that 24-hour sheet and then go write a progress note individually for them. And, you know, depending on what system you're using, Matrix or PCC, you'll figure out how to go right into progress notes. You go write your note, mention their vital signs, mention, you know, that the resident is basically stable. How did they look, you know, when you observe them in their room? Did they look tired? Were they just sitting up, watching TV? Did they eat all of their food? Did they take their meds well? Just kind of quick notes on what you observed, pretty much. And especially if they're on the 24-hour sheets, you want to mention their vital signs or the condition they look like they were in. Also, if it's a new admit, definitely keep their vital signs, take note of their vital signs, take note of their condition and how they are adjusting to their room. Just keep an eye on those kind of things when it's a new admit, and make sure you write a progress note for them, or if it's medical charting. This next step is extremely important. Take your break. If it's 30 minutes, go away, catch your breath, relax, or even if you're staying there because you kind of want to keep an eye on everything, just take your break. Clear your mind, relax, eat something, drink some water, prepare for your next med pass, but definitely take your break. You have to recharge. It's extremely important. Your mind is running a million miles a minute when you're doing that med pass, so you have to relax your mind for a little while before you start back up. Okay, once again, you're going to want to start this second med pass early. If it's the 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. meds, start at 7. Get a head start. You just don't know what little unexpected surprises will pop up, so get a head start of the game and do your med pass at like 7. And if you can, those treatments that you wrote down, you may be able to start some of those treatments as well, especially if it's something minor. You know, if it's like skin prep to the heels or something. All right, let me give you this med. I'm just put this skin prep on your heels real quick. Something small like that, you can go do it right along with the med pass. If not, you could have did it in between your 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. med pass, or you can do it after. So, you know, you have time. Don't worry. You'll be able to get those treatments done. The next thing is, once you're done, take a deep breath, park your cart, and wipe it down. So here is something that I feel, especially during the 7 to 3 or 3 to 11 nurses, all of us should do. Once we finish that med pass, it's been a long night, most likely. But if we stop, park the cart, stock it and wipe it down first before we sit down and do our notes or anything else, then it will always be prepared for that next nurse, the 11 to 7. They don't want to come in and you have a cart full of bull crap treatments and everything else all over the place. That, you know, that's putting your mess onto the next nurse, and I don't think that's fair, you know. But because I know that the 3 to 11 can get a little busy, so clean that cart, wipe it down, stock it back up, put your cups, put your medicine cups, your whatever meds, Tylenol, anything like that needs to be restocked, put it in there, clear it, fill up the water container, make sure you have a pudding, something, whatever that needs to be there, boost drinks, put it on the cart. Have it fully prepared before you sit your behind back down again. That way, just in case someone fell or you get caught up with, having to write down some more notes, you're all set for the next nurse to at least come in to a cleared cart, ready for her to do him or her to do their thing. And even if you have to stay a little longer, finish your notes, you didn't leave a mess for them. And after that, honestly, the rest is history. Sit down, take a deep breath, finish your notes, fill in your I and O's, jot down anything you need on that 24-hour sheet. And maybe you have to put vitals and neuros in for someone. But that's it. I do recommend you do one last round. Just check on everyone, lay eyes on everyone, make sure everyone's alive and no one's on the floor, everything's good. And then just relax. Set the peaceful tone for the next nurse to come into if you can, All right, and this last little clip is just to show, I'm sure you learned it in school, but the proper way or angle that your cart should be. It should not be with your back towards the hallway where residents can easily just run up on you or anyone else. All right, so clock out. You're done, probably past 11. And just a healthy reminder, throw that freaking nasty mask away. Don't bring it in your car. Don't have a car full of masks. Please don't. All right, so, and another thing is, once you get in your car, after you've washed your hands, threw your mask away, clocked out, did all this other stuff, do not think about that freaking facility. Clear your mind, take a shower, relax, you're done. Your shift is done. Do not bring it home with you. All right, next video will be all about meds. Hopefully that will help, and hopefully this video helped as well. Till next time, take care.